So something that's interesting to me, though, Dallas and Paris, they play. They're the very first match on Thursday, and considering how Paris has looked, do you think maybe Paris can make a run of taking out Dallas?
I think there's a real chance here. That's actually the match that I am most interested in watching, because Dallas is obviously a top team. But they have had their series where they looked shaky. They looked a little off, where they've clutched up in those round 11s. So this will be a good test in my eyes for Paris to see where they stack up. Once again, I don't necessarily think that they need to beat Dallas, but I need to see it be a close game. They need to compete. And obviously, if they do beat Dallas, that's great. I think they have the potential to do it. It's going to be tough. There's no question about that, but I'm interested to see how they stack up against them for sure.
It depends what Paris version we see. We see that high-end version where they're firing on all cylinders. That Paris could beat Dallas.
Well, I think
the other Paris is the one that's going to get 3-0 and body slam. So
I think we're starting to see the first side of Paris. Like, I feel like they're slowly but surely getting more consistent, right, and not just completely shitting the sheets. And for lack of a better term. So that's why I'm excited, because I feel like they were super streaky, but they're starting to find their footing in these games. So this is good. I mean, it's going to be a huge test for them because it's the first match of week 2. And if they start out and they beat Dallas, they're going to have the momentum on their side, and they could have a really good week. So I'm excited for them.
Predictions, and I want something spicy from you guys if you have it for me, but do you have a bold prediction for any one of these series? Any match you say, you know what, I think maybe this person's going to take it, or someone's going to have a blowout, or maybe, I don't know, a London or someone else comes in. Pacman, do you have a bold prediction for the week?
A bold prediction. These are some pretty straightforward ones. Let's see. Do I think Rocker is going to beat Chicago? Absolutely not.
But can you imagine?
Do I think Paris is going to beat Empire? No. Do I?
But they could.
But the thing is, I would be more leaning towards that if Dallas didn't just have a close match against Seattle. You know what I mean? So they should be be on edge. They just had that close match. Seattle Surge beating Legion, that's not a huge thing if they continue. You know what? I'm gonna go with the Rocker beating Empire. Don't ask. This is only because they beat them last stage. They beat them last stage. They did. And they're gonna be off a really good warm up with Optic, where I think they'll lose, but with their new roster that I'm predicting that they have, they'll be in a spot to beat Empire in that second match.
Okay, a fresh Minnesota, maybe shaking it up and taking out Empire. If Empire doesn't wake up a bit, maybe they've been a little too lax, but I'm putting Enable in a tough spot. What is yours? Bold prediction?
I mean, Katie, I can't even say this because I could say I think LA Thieves will be Atlanta FaZe. But wow. I honestly just I know they could.
Maybe.
But I know, I mean, that's going to have to be my answer, right? Because there isn't John stole my actual answer.
I didn't steal it. I came up with it.
Katie asked you.
I'm sorry, I did ask Pacman first, so.
She's playing favorites out here. But besides that, all the other matches are pretty, even. Like you said, you have your Seattle versus your Paris. You have your Gorillas versus Toronto. No. I changed that. I changed my answer. Changed my answer.
Okay.
I just saw it. I think Royal Ravens are going to beat Subliners.
What?
Hear me out. Subliners are obviously great team right now. Great team. I think they're going to go into it just underrating London. I mean, fair play to them because London up until recently, hadn't won a series yet. And I think everyone on London kind of has a chip on their shoulder right now. They were getting disrespected by everyone. They were getting disrespected by me, by you, John. They want to come out. Oh yeah, they deserved it because them boys was ass. But I think there are in their mindset. At least I hope they better be. It's like a revenge tour. So I think they're going to do everything in their power to come out, play their best COD to date, and I think Subliners just might underestimate them and kind of get caught lacking.
So for the rest
I really don't think that's going to happen.
You don't think,
but like that's something juicy, you know.
I mean, so you don't think LA Thieves actually has a chance versus FaZe in reality? I mean, the FaZe is going to lose at some point. You understand?
Oh yeah, FaZe is going to lose. I think LA Thieves has a chance. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if LA Thieves loses to London and then beats FaZe. Like, because that's just how COD is sometimes.
I would be shocked.
Okay, maybe I guessed that bit. But like, I wouldn't be shocked. But I think that is a lot harder because of how good FaZe is than the Ravens upsetting New York. Because, like, come on, bro. FaZe is too good. Like, I'm going to just keep it like... And look at their players on their team. They're not players that are, like, when they are at the point where they're considered the best, they kind of, like, slack off. Like, I'm running into Celium, Mabizi, and Arcides in a league play game by myself. Like, you know what I'm saying? These guys, they're just grinders. Clay's out, like, doing Pokemon card things.
Pokemon.
So maybe
like, Pokemon.
Yeah.
Cards,
So maybe they just get caught lacking. So it happens. You know, it happens sometimes.
Well, I mean, look at Dallas, right? Was there a level of they just assumed they were going to smoke Seattle, so they got comfortable once you're up 2-0 and 2-0 in a control? So maybe that happens to someone else. But there are the bold, spicy predictions from Pacman and Enable. Minnesota maybe taking down Dallas, and London maybe getting their second series win potentially over Subliners. It sounds absurd, but in COD it can certainly happen if there's a revenge tour in the works or someone comes out hot and catches someone else lacking.